needs should be met. Like
you don't live with your boyfriend?
No.
Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys talking about here?
Nothing.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
I don't know, there's been a little whispering back and forth between you two.
Can I say something, or am I going to be yelled at? I feel like when you're having a debate with someone, I've been on a lot of podcasts in my life, even debates with friends, you start making jokes, you start fucking with the other person, and you took it, and then you came at me so crazy that it, like, ruins the dynamic of, like, having, like, a funny...
You guys speak into the mic.
They can hear me, by the way. I've seen a bunch of your podcasts on my For You page. When people are far away, you can hear it.
Okay,
but I'm just saying,
go ahead.
I know. Okay, so what I'm just saying, when you're like going back and forth and like debating, you're like fucking with one another, you're like saying your shit back and forth, and then you take it one way and then you like make it all serious. It just like kills the vibe of like everyone having like a fun, good time and like joking around, making debates. When you like spin it in like a way, you like spun it to make it like weird, and it wasn't weird. It was like I've been on so many podcasts, even just debates with friends, and then you start taking it personally.
Are we
That's
friends?
when it's just... I just gave an example of podcasts, and then I also gave the example of friends, and then you start taking it personally and then make it weird and all serious. It was like nothing serious. Like, why did you make it into something where you had to like kill the vibe? Like, it was like having...
kill the vibe. Okay, so...
You did, and it was fun, and we were joking around, and I was just like, it's not fun anymore.
Well,
it was fun going into it.
Are you going to let me respond? Okay, so this is precisely what zero accountability looks like. First off, we don't have the level of rapport for the jokes that you made to be appropriate, in my view. Perhaps you have a different sense of what you can say to somebody that you've never met before and you don't know. The two things you said were, I was talking about the relationship with my ex-girlfriend, and I revealed a couple details. We hadn't lived together. I wasn't like...
Bought her dinner once or twice
a couple
in
times
5 years.
and you said, oh, she must be ugly.
I said,
she must be fat.
I said, was she?
Oh,
well,
that's kind of okay. So I don't see.
Can I say something?
No, hold on. So that's kind of a semantic thing there. You essentially said she must be ugly.
I said, was she ugly? That you
was
only bought
she fat?
Her? I said fatty.
Was she a fatty? Okay.
And I stand by that.
That's kind of rude.
It was a joke, by the way. Let's all...
Was it? What was the joke?
If you're dating a girl for 5 years and you only buy her dinner twice in 5 years...
Wouldn't the funny joke be that she's actually thin because she's emaciated because I'm not buying her food?
I think that's funny also.
That could be another
That's a funny
joke.
joke.
There you have it.
I like that joke.
Yeah. In any case, I don't see how... to me, it seems a little vulgar to call... Oh, your ex must be ugly and fat.
I'm a very
Where's
vulgar
the
person.
joke? But explain the joke to me.
I just explained it. It was
This
funny
is
to
getting
me.
like Goodfellas here. Okay. You think I'm funny? Or what the fuck? Okay. Okay, look. And then the other thing you said was we were talking about a scenario with her where if there's some disrespect or something, you wouldn't expect your guy to protect you in some sort of scenario. And then you're like...
No, what I started off with was... I've never been in a situation like that. Have you? You said no. Everyone else here said no. And I was like, when is this even like a real situation that we get put in? And then I said,
None?
Have you been
Okay.
in a situation like that?
What do you mean?
What? Did I stutter? What do you mean?
Okay.
What did I, like? Did
Well,
you guys
like,
all
have
get
you?
the question?
What she's saying
Or
is,
am
have
I
you ever been in
delusional?
a situation where
None of you
someone
have
stuttering?
seen. None of you have been
I've-
witness to a violent situation.
I have.
I have, but I've never been in a situation like that with my partner.
Also, can I speak now?
Is it related to?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
go ahead.
it's not. Yeah. Well, you said you guys don't have the rapport for her to be saying those things to you, but just from my perspective, you were like being accusatory and making presumptions about them as well.
Give me an example.
You were saying you probably don't cook and clean, huh?
Yeah.
Real.
And when I said
Brian
I
did
don't have
that.
a sugar daddy, you looked at me like, "Come on,
Real.
you don't." So
You assume they
from
don't
my,
Play it
my
back.
perspective, and I would actually be curious to hear what everyone else thinks. It seems like the same thing.
It's
Yeah.
actually, it's kind of not.
I feel like the
Because-
first
Does
bit with the
anyone
mental
else have
jokes
that
was a
same-
little bit.
Does
I mean,
anyone
I
else
don't
have
know if
that
it was a
same
real
point of
conversation
view?
happening
It's also
there,
another
but
thing if you're being like rude and interruptive and
Can I say
repetitive.
contract.
I'll hold it.
I'm not saying what.
Go ahead.
Were you saying it's rude when people interrupt?
Yeah.
Are you talking
What?
to him or are you talking to us? Because
I don't-
I've watched
talking
this podcast.
to basically
Okay,
everyone.
perfect.
Yeah.
So we're okay.
I mean, I was just told I wasn't allowed to speak as well, so.
It's
Wait,
because they
what?
were having a conversation though.
Are we
but you
now
did,
having?
You did ask, so it was a yes or no question,
Yeah,
and then
I mean,
he let
that-
you talk after.
Okay. Well, my bad then.
Okay. So,
Are we good?
what do you mean?
We're cool.
I don't know. You're the one who
Do we have
kind
a rapport?
look.
Can we just?
In my view, you were being rude, and I
That's
told you
your
to stop.
opinion, and I respect that, and I
Okay.
apologize if you think I was rude.
It's not that I think you were rude. You were rude.
That's your opinion.
It's not an opinion.
That's an opinion.
Was the cooking and
I
cleaning
think
comment nice?
if you were,
Real.
Hot take.
I think questioning whether she doesn't cook or clean for her roster
Questioning
of
whether
10
you
men.
could
And that's
fuck
what
up a
zero
guy if a
accountability
guy came
looks
at you with you
like.
and your girl. It's just like it's all opinions. Let's all be chill. Let's all have nice debates without getting
But
defensive.
what okay, so we can go into the whole like, oh Brian, and then you
Oh my
said I could
God.
probably take you, Brian.
Because it's
Like,
a joke. Get the joke. Get the bit.
But
Let's move
what
on.
what's the underlying communication that you're trying to say there?
What are you trying to say when you're implying that we can't cook and clean? You don't know us. It's all jokes. We're all just making jokes here for content. Let's all move on. Let's like make our content and have a good time, and without getting so serious and defensive.
There's obviously
both in
scales.
this
Can you stop
business.
interrupting? There's obviously scales to it, right? So me questioning whether she cooks or cleans for her roster of 10 men is a little different than you ad hominem attacking my ex-girlfriend for calling her.
I didn't attack her. I attacked you. By you not buying, you bought her 2 dinners in 5 years.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about you saying that she must be ugly. She must be a fatty.
Roll the clip back. I never said must. I said was she.
It doesn't matter. That's you're shifting the goalposts here.
I'm not.
Did you say ugly and fatty? That's the set. Forget the
I did,
must
and
or
I
maybe.
stand by that.
Don't you think that's rude to say
I
about
don't.
somebody?
I think it's a funny joke. And you said the thing about her being.
Would you say that to someone's face?
What do you mean? Say
Would
it to her
you
face.
say it to a girl's face?
I'm saying that to your face. Was your girlfriend an ugly or a
No.
fatty? Why you only bought her 2 meals in 5 years?
What I don't see the connection between the frequency with which I buy a woman meals and her
I-
physical attractiveness and her
One
weight.
thing about me, I make a lot of jokes. So why am I here if I can't crack my jokes? Because I'll fucking leave. Like, it's just like I'm trying to have a good time and you're making it so serious. I like to crack jokes. I want to make jokes. It was a joke. It wasn't meant to be that serious.
Okay.
I'm not going to explain why it was a joke. To me, it's a joke.
But
I say a lot
you
of
can't
jokes.
you can't just defend saying
Ooh,
hold on.
I
Yo,
just
yo,
said
yo.
I don't even
Can you-
care enough
Can
to
you
even
stop
keep having
interrupting?
this debate.
Can you stop interrupting? You've asked to have a conversation about it.
I know,
We're
but
having,
you keep
yo,
dragging
stop,
on
stop. Can you
the
stop?
fucking
But
same
stop
question.
interrupting.
You
Can
keep
stop-
dragging on the same question.
I'm not dragging on the same
said
question.
It was a joke
Yo,
to me.
I'm asking you to stop interrupting, okay? Allow me to finish my point. I let you speak. Let me finish my point, and then you can come in, okay? So, I fail to see how just attacking someone, I fail to see the joke.
Okay. And
I-
how many
and I'd
times
like to-
did I say
I would like to
it's
open
a
it up
joke
to the table.
Me. To
But-
me. It's an opinion. That's my opinion.
Okay, but here's the thing.
You
Here's the
know
thing.
me,
I'll get to you in a sec. I'll get
That's
to you in a
my
sec.
opinion.
Here's the
Move
thing.
on.
I wanna
I'm
talk
over
again.
it.
Yo,
I said it's a joke to me.
I'm-
That's my
we'll
opinion.
talk-
we
we'll
all
talk
have
ab-
opinions here. It's America. I'm
You're-
allowed to make an opinion and make a
That's-
joke.
Sure.
Thanks.
Sure.
Can we move on?
No. I'm gonna
Help!
you can't just initiate an argument and then just be like, okay, now we're moving
Really?
on.
Yeah.
It's my show. I'll finish my point and
Make
then
your
we can
point.
move on. But you're being really rude now.
I am not being rude.
Yes, you're trying to dictate the flow of the show on my show. We're gonna continue talking about it. I'm gonna make my point and then I will
Dictate the flow. You
Yo,
asked why.
You
Just
need to
let him-
stop
let him
fucking
finish.
interrupting. Why do you keep interrupting? Chill out. Okay. Jesus Christ. Look, I don't like this whole thing of like people saying really mean things about other people and just being like, oh, it's a joke.
If that's mean to you, then you got to get tougher skin. Cause we're on the internet. We get ripped apart to shreds. You gotta have tougher
Let me ask
skin.
the girls here at the table. If someone to your face
I
told-
said it about
Yo,
your girlfriend.
stop
Then I'm-
interrupting.
Don't yell at me, or I'm gonna
You
go.
keep interrupting.
This
It's
is
very
stupid.
rude. You think it's rude that I'm yelling.
Can
You
you-
keep interrupting. Stop.
Oh my god.
You've just do you not have the social grace to just stop interrupting?
What a crazy assumption.
Are you not interrupting me? I'd like to ask the girls here at the table. If someone to your face called you ugly, is that a joke?
I would probably just laugh because I know I'm not, but
Is it a joke?
Yeah, I'm
It's
not going to take
offensive.
anyone's
We're all
opinion
used- we're all used
It's
to
seriously.
offensive
We're
if
all
you're
used
talking
to the
about someone that you
trolling,
don't even
so-
know also.
I mean,
I mean-
why would I take anyone's opinions of my appearance seriously? Like, why would I? And I think that if you
That's
do
not-
take
that's
it,
not the
if you do
question.
it, well, for
Okay,
to me,
the
it sounds
sisterhood.
like that you're
The sisterhood.
expecting us to get hurt over people's opinions of us, and that's just not us. If someone's calling
Then
us
the
ugly,
offender donated
I guess we're ugly to them.
$99.
That's their opinion. It's
Prime
valid.
example of why women get treated like children.
I don't think women get treated like children.
If someone called you ugly,
Weird thing to say.
would you view it as a joke?
I get told that every day
Yeah.
on the internet, in the comments.
It doesn't mean that
Roll
it's,
back
sleep
the
great
chat.
at
Roll
night.
back the chat. People have been calling us
Either way, it's offensive, especially when you're talking about someone that you don't even know.
I don't know. I don't really see it as
Martin
offensive.
donated $100.
If someone like
Street
hits-
blonde, you are curt, confrontational, and you carry your life trauma heavier than your makeup. You're unattractive inside and out. Brian has a podcast to run. You don't recognize masculinity because your father is weak and a failure.
is that just a joke?
That's kind of a joke because her dad is a very nice man and not weak or a failure. I think that's a joke.
But would
Like
it
that
would it be, perhaps be appropriate for someone to be upset at what he said about your father?
Can I be honest? That went in one ear out the other. I'm asleep great at night. So that shit.
Like, that
I don't
wouldn't
let
really
it-
bother me.
That doesn't bother me because I know who I am. I know who my dad is. That shit doesn't bother me. I'm a very secure person. Thank you. And I like wearing makeup. So
I feel like since we're all subjecting ourselves to this and criticism, we should have like the wherewithal to not like take it offensively
Right.
or to heart. And also, question: you're getting really defensive over this. So was she ugly or a fatty? Cause was that just wondering?
I think you already specified
No.
no.
I've repeatedly said
But can I-
she wasn't. Go ahead.
I tried to move on from this
Let's get a picture.
5 minutes ago.
Can we get a picture?
I tried to move on from this topic. I said let this topic go 5 minutes
It's
ago.
not your podcast.
Then
but
I'm done talking.
There's no point in being meta about it.
I'm not mad.
No, I said meta. We've already discussed it. You think it's a joke. I don't. That's the end of story then.
Real agree to disagree.
So we can move on. That's what I think is best. In any case, though, I fail to see how it's a joke, and I'll leave it at that. You think it's perfectly within the normal social graces to just call people fat and ugly. If that's your standard of conduct, then I suppose that's your standard of conduct, but
Real.
it's not mine. And perhaps it seems like the other girls at the table here who want to defend her also think it's a normal standard of conduct to just call people who you don't know ugly and fatties. I think you're really just desiring to defend her because she's on your team. I actually don't think that that's your standard. I think that's bullshit. Anyways, we're going to move on.
That's what zero accountability looks like.
What do you mean zero
That's what you
accountability?
said. Like, you can't see in any type of way, like even a sliver of her perspective.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Like, you are choosing to think that she's just doing that and saying that because it fits your narrative instead of actually listening to her and taking what she says as what she says. Because she's not agreeing with
I
you.
find it incredibly difficult to believe that you or most women would think that it's just a joke to call a woman ugly or a fatty. I'm sorry if I'm a bit skeptical of the assertion that that's just like within the normal social.
Well,
Do
I
you think
it's
we're
different
operating
because
right now in a normal social like way? This isn't.
I think it's
we're not
different
all at a
because
bar where.
we are called ugly and fat on the internet every single day, so you kind of just
So-
have to get
If
over
you
it.
really took that as being dead serious, then I'm gonna leave. If you don't understand that that was a fucking joke, if we can play the clip back that that was a joke, I said
That
it
was
in a
one of the
manner-
things.
So I'm saying it's like if you literally and you don't understand that when I said that, it was a fucking joke, and if you don't get that, then I'm out. Like, if you, like, this is, like, I can't have this conversation anymore. It's so fucking stupid.
I think
You're
we're
not
just
even-
like
you
a
gotta
little
talk into the mic.
desensitized because it's like people call us some crazy shit on the internet like every single day. Like people have said some really mean things, and like at first, yes, it bothers you.
Yes, the internet is toxic. We're right now though. We're face to face. Shit
Right.
that people will say anonymously on the internet would never fucking fly in person, and you know that.
I mean, if we were like in a full-on argument and like you called me ugly or fat, yeah. But if you just like jokingly were like, yeah, you're ugly and fat, I wouldn't even like think twice about it, just because it's like, I don't know. I don't really.
I fail to see what the joke is, though. That's
It's
where I'm still
kind of-
stuck. I fail to see, like, usually in a joke, there's a punchline, there's like, I'm failing to see the joke.
Well, like there's different perspectives of like.
Like, I can't, for example, if I just walked up to
Clearly.
if I walked up to a random woman in the street and I just said, you're ugly and a fatty.
Who would do
just
that?
joking,
Who the
just
fuck would do
fucking
that?
joking.
I would think
Can
that's
I
not what
explain her
happened
joke?
here.
I would think
Because
that's
I think
funny.
I
I
would think that was
understand it,
funny.
and that's your
But
problem.
also,
You,
who
no
would
one's
do that? I would
explaining
not
this
fucking
joke
do
to you
that.
in the way
So-
you can't
But like
clarify it.
different people have different senses of humor. So
But that's
it's, like,
not my sense of humor. What I made, I wouldn't go up to a random woman and call her ugly or fat.
Yeah.
That's not funny to me. That wasn't the joke. That wasn't the bit.
So calling
like-
a woman who you don't
I
know.
never said that.
In my
I
opinion,
never said that.
Never
if
said what?
someone came up to me and said you're fat and ugly and said I was just joking, I would think that was funny. Just because, like, what are you even talking about?
Even if they weren't joking,
Okay.
I
Like,
would
I would think that was kinda funny, 'cause,
bothered.
like,
But
where are you
most
coming
people
from?
wouldn't. But most people
I would
wouldn't.
say most
though.
people wouldn't,
Most
yeah.
people wouldn't.
I agree.
Okay. Did you want to explain your
Yeah,
thing?
I'll explain it to you. So your guys' whole conversation literally was like, how you took her out to eat like twice or whatever, like whatever. And then she said that was the joke. So when you connect it and you want to go deeper into it, you're placing like typically in our society, men who are proud, like men who have women, they're going out spending lunch, like going out to dinner all the time. So if you're only going like once or twice, not a lot, then of course it's going to be like, so why isn't?
Hold on.
Whoa, you're
Another person,
interrupting, bro.
Intentionally or not, a healthy, mature person would have apologized, joke or not.
I apologize that you thought I was being rude. So, did I not?
Yeah, but
Thank
when you
you.
say that, you're apologizing for his actions, not your own.
What?
I'm
You're-
sorry.
you
It's
say-
like I'm
I'm
sorry
that
you're
you feel that
offended.
way.
It's not really an apology. I don't need an apology. But the subsequent comment was like, oh, Brian, you think you'd be able to take a guy? Oh, I'd probably fuck you up. It's just like, okay, bro. It's again, I don't think we have that level of rapport.
Okay.
That's it. Anyways, the TTS interrupted you. Did
Oh,
you want to
I'm all
continue?
good. I'm all good.
She was saying if you have only taken the woman out like 2 times and you don't want to show her off, she was asking like maybe is she ugly or fat, like to you. Like
'Cause
maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was asking like is she ugly or fat because you haven't taken her out, I guess.
Because
I think that's what you were.
I've
trying to
had this
say.
conversation with multiple women before, and they go up to the other guys and they're like, well, have you taken her out to dinner? Like, oh, once or twice, and they're like, well, is she ugly? Like, why aren't you
Yeah.
taking her out more?
It's like
like
showing
this
off
is a
your
normal
trophy.
conversation that men have, like, and that I've been a part of.
Yeah.
So like,
It's like a common stereotype.
yeah, exactly.
So I
Like,
think that's where you get to the joke. I see what
yeah,
you're
that's
saying.
where you get to the joke. So if you're not understanding that part, then of course you're gonna get offended. You know.
So the joke is that because she could be unattractive, that I don't want to be seen in public with her. Is that?
I think so.
The joke is that like
I don't
men
know.
Bingo.
kind of
Men.
say that, and
I
like
think that
men
was
have
the
that
yeah.
kind
joke.
of.
yeah.
I've heard men talking about it too. I know what
Yeah,
you're saying.
same. I've been in those conversations where men.
It's
have
like, oh,
said
she
that.
must be fat or
and
ugly.
and I've been in like position of like, well, why? What? That doesn't make sense to me. And they're like, well, we like to like show off our girls, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the more if they're prettier or whatever, they'll spend more money on them. They'll take them out more. They want to show them off. They want to make sure all the other men know who they're tapping and all that stuff. So if you're like not going out in public, you're not showering with her, all this stuff. There's gonna be a little like, so what's going on? Like, is he not like
Attracted to her.
Is she not that attracted? Is he not that attracted? Like, it's gonna be something. There's gonna be a little thing to think about.
Okay, so that's one component of it. Truthfully, though, the big blow up that occurred happened after the comment about
Was it
the
the-
fighting. Yeah.
I think that was just.
So, I mean,
misunderstood.
honestly, I kind of glanced to some degree over the ugly and fatty comment. All right, we have some chats here. We have, let's see, I'm a 49. Puffy Vegas. I'm a 49, and I'm going to tell you women in their 20s don't care about age. P.S. I never bought a woman anything. Okay, there you have it. See, this guy knows what he's doing. He's 49. Never bought a woman anything. He knows.
Is he married or in a relationship?
He's on a chat on a
He's
YouTube.
49 and he's watching a live
That's
stream.
not
said,
like
"Do you want a cookie?
Let's be
What's
so
up?"
real.
If you know who Puffy Vegas was, he is one of the
Bags.
preeminent Giga Chads in Las Vegas. Okay, we have hard body. First two chicks aren't adding anything of value, and dumb as fuck, kick them.
Them too?
Whole chat wants at least blonde gone. Personal for the first chick. And we'll try to move on. We'll see. Okay, Puffy Vegas. I'm 100% on Brian's side. Blondie was mean, and you're protecting her, and you are protecting her. Are full of BS, because if you saw a hot guy and he called you ugly, all of you would cry. P.S. Blondie is mid. Okay. We have Sloan Fideli. Have a roster of super hot young women in.
But he just called her mid.
Okay.
Isn't that like?
It's just a joke, though, right?
Right. I'm
just
just
a-
saying.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like you didn't bat
disagreeing.
you didn't bat an eyelash at that. You didn't even bat an eyelash at that.
She
Yeah.
can defend herself if you want to
Exactly.
say.
It's a joke.
I just feel like
if-
this was a perfect
if you wanna say something
opportunity and
to-
an example of exactly what you were talking about.
If you want to say something to Puffy Vegas, if you want to,
Puffy Vegas, we don't care. Call
Okay,
us any
that's
names.
fine.
It just doesn't
People
I'm
ha-
matter.
just saying
people
if
have
he
different
agrees with you
standards.
but is doing the same thing, it's kind of like
I'm not.
hypocritical.
I'm not co-signing on his statement.
No, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying
And I
he
think
is
mid-
agreeing with you that that he thinks it's rude and inappropriate for her to say she's fat and ugly, and then called her mid.
Yeah,
So
and
then
isn't
you
that
just, like,
and then
agree.
called her mid? So he's doing the same thing
Okay.
that he agreed with you that he doesn't think is appropriate. So it's just kind of hypocritical.
Okay, so.
Would you not agree? Would you not agree?
Could it be hypocritical? It's a bit too what's that?
I feel like it's pretty cut and
What
dry.
is the fallacy? Okay, in any case, huh?
So you wouldn't agree, or you would agree?
Mid is not nearly as insulting as ugly and fatty.
That's your opinion, though.
To you, I
What?
think it's different.
What? Mid
Like,
means you're like a 5 or a 6.
Someone could
like,
still
it's still
find that
something
as
that
an
could be
intense
Bro, this girl argues to argue.
That's what we're saying.
This girl
though.
argues
You can
to
find things as
argue.
an intense insult, so just don't say them.
Okay, yeah, but
Wait, you
literally.
think mid? Hold on. You think mid is worse than ugly and
I'm
fatty?
not. I'm
about
literally. So
what's
you're
worse.
putting
Bro,
words
what?
into my mouth is what's happening. I'm literally saying that some people, like other people,
Both-
not me, could find mid to be insulting.
Both
Of
are
course.
derogatory.
So
Of
like,
course.
I don't know what you're
Of
twisting my words
course.
for.
It's like
Someone could
it's like
find mid as
comparing
insulting.
ugly and hideous. You know, like both are a derogatory
what I
comment
was-
on someone being less attractive.
Off the rails today. Okay.
So you
I
would
just
agree
don't
or
think
not?
I don't think mid is as I'm not saying
Would
it's
you-
a nice thing to say to somebody, but it's not as bad as
Would
saying
you
ugly
agree
and fucking
it's a
and fatty.
derogatory comment on someone's appearance?
It could be a little insulting. Yeah.
Right.
It could be a little
like,
insulting,
we
but if they're
didn't
actually
think
mid,
that-
hey, fuck it.
Man, it's cool when you do it. It's a problem when I do
Exactly.
it.
Cool when they tip $99.
It's okay. Whatever. Okay, Sloan, I have a roster of super hot young women in, I assume, the Dominican Republic for 20 years. They are mature. I'm 61. I don't know. Your thumbnail doesn't. You don't. Okay, whatever.
I know this
and
guy.
fit and wealthy.
Is this
I know this guy.
I would never deal with USA 25-year-olds. They can't even make my morning coffee without drama. Never get married. Based. Never get married, gentlemen. Never get married. Take it from her father with the 5.
Well, he likes
Was
you.
I
that
feel
a
like her
stab at
father
my
says
father, or
always
was
get
that like
married.
in support
Yeah.
of my father?
In support.
Okay.
In support. I mean, you even said marriage is a no.
Yeah,
Well, you
I know.
didn't literally say that.
Yeah,
but-
I don't think that. I just, in my opinion, I wouldn't probably
Alright.
get married.
We have Puffy Vegas. I grew up with nothing but Chads
He
and
never
Tyrone.
stops. Why is Puppy Vegas everywhere?
Because he's tipping the talk.
Spend money today.
But not on women.
We have never had a conversation like that. Is insane. Men don't talk like that. We talked about did you hit it or not. I've been dating since I was 12. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Damn, he's 12 and dating people.
I think you.
No, he's
You
not
gotta
12.
I think he
He's not
has
12
the trauma.
currently.
I think you're the issue.
You're the
here.
problem,
I
Puffy
think you're the
Vegas.
problem.
You're
Puffy-
speaking through trauma, Puffy.
Puffy Vegas is one of the biggest Giga Chads in Las Vegas. So I mean,
What does that
what that
mean?
Good for him.
I don't really care.
he is a fucking Giga Chad. Okay, let's see. We're all caught up on the chats here. I don't know where we left off in the conversation. We'll move on. Total derailment. But okay, we have Caitlin here. You know what? Let me reel you back in here. No. We're not going to talk. We're moving on from the thing. In your pre-show information here, I'm trying to reel you back into the convo. You said traditional mindset that women. I was semi-confused exactly what you meant, but you said women shouldn't be working and shouldn't have equal rights. So I was just confused.
No.
Are you in favor? Are you in favor or are you against?
No.
I'm trying to.
That's not what I meant. Will you explain?
I think it kind of goes.
Oh, was
back.
that you? Sorry. Was that you?
No, we
or-
both were when we put in saying we want to do this. It was both like us wanting to do it.
Should
But I
we
need
shake
like
hands? Should we shake hands?
Are you shaking?
I think you guys should hug.
They made up.
I was never mad.
All right.